I'm going to start by saying this isn't another hype-filled unboxing. I'm here to walk through the Thor Kitchen Gordon Ramsay 36-inch French door fridge and help you figure out if it actually lives up to the price tag and the kitchen aesthetic you're after. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What I've seen from a lot of buyers is a mix of excitement about the sleek black stainless combo and a healthy dose of caution when they realize a refrigerator isn't just a box that keeps food cold, it's a daily workhorse that can make or break your kitchen flow. First off, let's talk about why a lot of people hesitate before buying a counter-depth French door fridge. The main concern is whether the unit will truly fit the space without compromising storage or causing a visual imbalance. Counter-depth models promise a streamlined look, no overhang, a flush line with cabinets, but they often sacrifice interior volume compared to a standard depth model of the same exterior width. That means you could be trading a bit of cubic footage for that clean line, and the trade-off only becomes obvious when you start loading groceries after a big weekend shop. That's where the Thor Gordon Ramsay model tries to strike a balance. At 20.3 cubic feet, it sits right in the middle of the range for 36-inch, counter-depth units. In practice, that translates to enough room for a typical family of 4 to store weekly groceries without cramming. I've seen a couple of households load it with standard grocery bags, a few large cuts of meat, and a couple of meal prep containers, and they still have room for the occasional pizza box or a tall frozen casserole. If you're a single or a couple with modest cooking habits, the space will feel generous. If you regularly bulk shop or keep a large frozen inventory, you might start noticing the missing inches sooner rather than later. Now, let's break down the real-world features. The fridge uses an inverter compressor combined with Thor's multi-flow air system. For most of us, the key question is whether that means faster cooling after you open the door or after you add warm items. In day-to-day use, the difference is subtle but noticeable. A friend who left a large tray of lasagna out for a half hour reported that the interior temperature dropped back to the set level within 20-30 minutes, thanks to the fast freeze function. That's a practical benefit if you often find yourself placing hot plates directly into the fridge. The inverter compressor also tends to be quieter than older, single-speed compressors, which is a plus if your kitchen doubles as a home office or you have an open-plan layout. The electronic touch controls and control panel lock might sound like something you'd see on a high-end model, but they're fairly straightforward. The control panel sits on the right side of the upper door, and you can set temperature, switch between the fast freeze mode, or lock the panel with a simple press and hold. The lock is useful if you have kids who love to play with the settings, though I've personally found it a bit fiddly when I need to quickly adjust the temperature after a power outage. It's not a showstopper, just a small usability detail to keep in mind. One of the biggest selling points for many buyers is the built-in ice maker. In the Gordon Ramsay model, the ice maker is located in the freezer compartment, and it produces cube-shaped ice that's ready in roughly 57 minutes. If you entertain frequently or enjoy an ice-cold drink after a workout, that quick output is a real convenience. You do need to remember to keep the water line connected, and the initial setup can be a little messy if you haven't done it before. Once it's installed, the ice maker runs silently, and you won't have to run to the kitchen for a bag of ice every time you have guests. Let's get honest about the weaknesses. The first thing a lot of reviewers point out about counter-depth units is that the shelves can feel a bit cramped compared to a full-depth fridge. While the 20.3 cubic feet is decent, the interior geometry means the upper shelves don't extend all the way to the side walls, creating a slight V-shape that can make taller items wobble. If you store a lot of tall bottles of juice or a bunch of cake pans, you'll have to be strategic about placement. The door bins are also narrower than you might expect. They'll hold small bottles and a few cartons comfortably, but a 6-pack of water cans will barely fit without spilling over. Another practical concern is the door seal. The French door design requires 2 outer doors to close tightly, and the gasket around each door can be a point of failure over time. In the field, some owners notice a faint hiss after a few months, indicating a slight seal breach. That's not a huge issue if you're diligent about cleaning the gasket and checking for drafts, but it's something to keep on your maintenance checklist. The stainless steel finish on.